Take a look at what happened.
Everybody was in on that shit, bro.
I feel like she campaigns the same way that Target tries to sell home decorations to white chicks.
Dude, he had that face of like my 2-year-old shitting her pants look.
And since you're fact-checking me, I think it's important to say what's actually going on.
I mean, he called himself a fucking knucklehead in a live presidential debate. It's just not a good look.
Personally, I feel like the whole world loved Trump until he ran for president.
Hillary missed twice.
The lack of accountability in all of our organizations, including across our government, is bad, and it's meant that we've had decay in all of our institutions.
All right, what's up, guys, and welcome to the Madhouse Podcast, Episode 1. With me tonight, should I say, from left to right, we have James Lee.
Hola.
You better use my given name, my new name.
Immigrants are so
We have Luke Kewlinberg.
What's up?
And we have Christopher
Sudlick.
Sudlick.
Like Kewlinberg. Is it really Kewlinberg?
Yeah,
Really?
I mean, it's cool. Yeah, sure.
It's in your
And
fucking
we
name?
have James Stevens, a.k.a. YDJ. Is that what I'm supposed to say?
Yes.
Okay,
YDJ.
He's
All
from
right.
the streets, bro.
Just making sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Motherfucker on the panel.
Yeah, so we're going to start with a little clip. We're going to talk about Biden first, and you know, let's just hit it. All right.
But in America, we resolve our differences at the battle box.
I pooped myself.
The only thing age does is help you with it. Creates a little bit of wisdom.
Oh,
if
I
you
forgot
pay
about
attention.
that one.
And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more border patrol and more asylum officers. Look, I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she was not qualified to be president. As you know, initially, the president of Mexico, Sisi, did not want to open up the gate to allow humanitarian material to get in. And now I want to hand it over to the president of Ukraine, who has as much courage as he has
this was great.
determination.
Did he call him Putin?
President Putin.
Yeah, like the look,
We're going to beat President Putin. If tomorrow...
the look on that dude's face though was
had
fucking priceless. He was like,
At least
there
he
was
caught that. Like
line
a
up
second
that-
later, he's like, "Oh, I know what I did."
hadn't
Wasn't
inherited
totally
what I
gone.
did, and we just moved things along. Anyway.
I like to play with kittens.
It's sad in hindsight.
So, with that being said, let's just go. Let's talk a little bit about just Biden's senility and the media covering it up. Let's start all the way to the left with BJ over there, Black James. What are your thoughts on the media's cover up of Biden's senility? What do you think?
Man, they all need to be fucking. Everybody was in on that shit, bro. Like they were asking that dude, or asking about that dude like months before he fucking stepped out of the shit. Like, hey man, do you think he's competent? You know what I'm saying? Like even before the debate, it was that's the whole reason why I watched the debate, because it was like he's gonna show that he's not fucking. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I think that Kamala was in on it, dude. The media was in on it. Like it's all. And then when he failed that shit, they pulled that coup on his ass, bro, and fucking sank his ship. But
I mean, do we have any objections to that at the table at all?
To the
No, I
coup
don't
part?
have
No?
anything to reject to that at all, dude. I mean, 'cause that's 100%. I
Yeah,
mean,
and the Democrats are never going to let us have
no,
a primary again.
absolutely. No, absolutely not. I mean, 'cause this dates all the way back to like Operation Mockingbird, which has been declassified, and you can go look into that, dude. And I mean, it just tells you the CIA tells the news what to fucking tell you. You know, there is an agenda.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
Project
and-
Mockingbird was the operationalization of MK Ultra, bro.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, so it's just, you know, so when people are like, oh, you know what, well, where in the hell did you hear that from? Well, I heard it from mainstream. It's like, okay, well, no offense to you, but kind of a fucking idiot, in my opinion. It's just like, you know, because I'm always going to do the opposite of what they tell me to. Because it's like, if they say, you don't need a gun, I'm probably going to buy 8.
you're gonna,
You know, because I can't.
If they tell you not to, you're gonna have to get.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The most accurate thing on it these days is the weather. You know,
It
And
hardly
it used to be
that.
like the thing everybody made fun of, but it's like,
Well, the weather's hard,
You know.
but apparently it's easier than everything else.
Judging right from wrong.
So, would you guys go ahead and say it was an actual coup when they swapped out Biden for Harris without holding any primaries?
I don't think
Yeah.
it was a coup, to be honest. I think it was all planned from the beginning. You know?
Yeah, that's why they dragged it out so late.
Yeah, to make sure that he couldn't. There couldn't be.
and remember,
a
he did
vote.
say
right.
that he was running as
It
a
was only
one-term
a-
president to hand it off to a younger generation. He said that when he was running in 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how old is this chick?
Oh,
She's 60.
Is she
Right.
60?
Yeah,
I thought
that's-
she was in her 50s.
That's young for a politician, though.
Yeah, she's like in her 60s.
I think
bro.
Young's like, I don't know, 30-ish?
Because-
mid-30s?
Like our youngest president was like 38,
Well, the youngest
I
you
think.
Yeah,
can
No,
like
yeah.
Kennedy.
30.
Kennedy was the youngest president.
Absolutely.
The youngest you can be, by law is 35, I guess. So
Yeah, that's 35. Got to be married.
that seems reasonable.
You know, whatever. I think it's like you got to be married or something like that.
Not
like one
officially, but good luck
speculation.
running a campaign as a single person. They'll accuse you of
Yeah,
that.
you got to win that fucking.
JD Vance is
blue-collar
going to
vote.
call you a cat lady for sure, dude. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, I mean,
But yeah, I think it's fair to get back to Joe's question. Like, I think it's fair to characterize it as a coup. I think that's probably pretty strong language because I think
Well, they didn't hold any primaries. You got to remember that at least, right?
no, I mean, and then look, this is just speculation, but I think they wanted to. I kind of think that because if you remember when Joe Biden, wrote that letter essentially or posted it online, he immediately endorsed Kamala Harris, and I'm not sure that the Democratic Party wanted him to do that. To be honest with you.
no, he
I've
put
got
a
no
wrench
way
in
of
their shit.
knowing, but I feel like given the timing of it, I mean, it was right before they could have had an open convention. And don't get me wrong, I assume they probably would have rigged that as they usually do anyway. But
Pelosi
I think they wanted to
and-
have one.
Pelosi, the Obamas, and Clinton, dude, they had somebody else in mind. You know what I'm saying? And fucking Biden threw that wrench in there, dude, by nominating Kamala.
Yeah.
That was like
I thought so,
whatever
too.
agreement they had worked out, you know what I'm saying? We're like, hey, you're going to step the fuck down. Like, either you can step down and continue your legacy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or, motherfucking, we're going to have Hunter Biden locked up.
Yeah, he and I
You know
were,
what I'm saying?
he and
For
I
the
were
shit.
at the pub last night and we were talking about it, and he didn't. I don't think he had an answer. But who do you think they wanted from the party to run?
Man, low key, dude, maybe fucking Michelle Obama.
I mean, I heard a lot of
I mean,
speculation about
Michael
it.
Obama.
yeah,
you know what I'm
big
saying?
Big Mike.
Big Mike.
No,
But yeah, because I mean, like they got Obama out there pandering right now, dude, saying that motherfucking if because there's not enough men out there that are convinced that Kamala's
Yeah, he's
it,
trying to
and-
tell black dudes to vote for her for sure.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, and it's just like
Well, I mean, me personally, I don't agree with Kamala's campaign when it comes to segregation. I don't know if you guys have actually paid attention to like the white dudes for Harris, or
Yeah.
I can't remember
hate
exactly
that.
all of the other ones that she had, but she did actually have like sectioned off groups of people for Harris, and that rubbed me the wrong way. It really did. I don't know any other way to describe it besides like segregation.
No,
I mean,
I don't think it's segregation. I think it's a tactical plan to try to win back the black vote.
They were
You know.
supposed to be grassroots kind of organizations, but they were all astroturfed.
It looks
by
like a bunch of people
Democratic
out of central
consultants and
casting.
shit.
you know?
Yeah,
It
exactly.
doesn't look like normal people, but
Exactly, and like, but they had people from the communities that they were, bargaining with. The Democratic Party is a powerhouse; it's a political machine. They wield leverage over people and everything, and that's how they get the endorsements, make the deals, and everything. But no, they just fucked it up.
all
so
right.
he said Michelle Obama. Who do you think they might have ran given their pick?
Honestly, I don't know, man. Maybe Pence.
You think the Democrats would run Pence?
No, I mean behind the scenes, low key, yeah. I mean because the right wing and
That'd be a
and
crazy debate
The
stage.
left and the right wing
know what
don't
you
give
did.
two shits
Yeah,
about.
right.
They really.
How
don't
could
give
either
two
one of them
shits
talk
about
shit
you
on
or
Trump's
me.
record though? Because they
I
were
don't know,
both in
can I give a
office
shit about
together,
that?
So like they wouldn't even be
know?
able to talk shit. They'd be like,
I mean,
your record's the
you're
same as
just as
mine.
incriminating as I am. Bitch.
Yeah, they're like,
Kamala's campaigning with Dick Cheney. I mean,
that's a bad look.
That's weird. That's weird on his face. All right,
Look,
so
if she don't win, she's going duck hunting. That's all I'm saying.
all right, so what do you guys think about Biden? If Biden himself would have been convicted, would he have been convicted a felon if he had the ability to stand trial? You remember that whole deal?
Talking about the classified documents deal?
Oh yeah, yeah, and you remember the whole deal where they deemed him
by the Corvette.
That's part of
they
the
deemed him
agreement, dude. That's
incompetent to stand trial. They absolutely deemed him incompetent to stand trial while he's the sitting president in office. So, what are your thoughts on that?
And that's proof right there of the deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, how do you sit there and say I'm not competent to stand trial for all this illegal shit that you caught me doing, but I'm okay to fucking control nuclear weapons, fucking give money to Libya and motherfucking Ukraine, start some shit over here, this and that, and blah, blah, blah. No, man, that's part of the agreement with the transition of power, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
You know what
I
I'm
think
saying?
if I remember correctly,
there's so much illegal shit that's going on right in front. Like, that bitch didn't get voted in. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so much fraud going on right in front of our face, man, and there's nothing. You know what I'm saying? You want to keep trying to nail this dude for shit, man, but you guys are doing so much fucked up shit right in front of our face, and it's just like, what do you mean?
I think Trump's a hell of a criminal. I think lock that man up, bro.
I think they all are, to tell you the truth. I really think they all are
criminals, dude.
And the actual not like the focus on Trump being a criminal, like absolute Trump is this criminal, and then
but
not
the shit
focusing.
They're trying to get him for he was not exonerated, but they can't pin it on him. You know what I'm saying? They just
he's the Teflon Don.
they just gave that shit
Throw
away
the whole
yesterday. They
kitchen
just
sink
gave
at
it
him.
up yesterday. They were like, you know what I'm saying? The prosecutor was like,
They're just trying
dude,
to
I'm
drain
sorry,
his
man,
campaign
don't.
funds. That's all they were trying to do.
Yeah, they were like, dude, you're trying to incite a riot, or not trying to incite a riot, but you're trying to influence an election by going after him during an election. He was
then everybody should be locked
Well, I
up
mean,
because
all
everybody's
these
trying to
cases started
influence.
like 5 years ago, though. I mean, they're old.
Well, they started definitely once he was
They
president.
were trying to
When
make
they
sure that
filed.
the prosecuting, yeah. You know
when
what
did
I'm
the
saying?
process start? It was campaign season. So
Yep. And
on
then
all of them.
They said that they were
Some
going to
of
try
them
to
with the same judge.
make sure the trial was done before election.
Yeah.
Personally, I feel like the whole world loved Trump until he ran for president.
Well, you know, he was really divisive though. Like on The Apprentice, he was kind of like that show American Idol. The guy Simon Cowell, the one judge. I feel like that's kind of who he was in Americans' perception prior to his political career, because people would watch The Apprentice and he was, you know, he's a dick to people on it. He's like, you're fucking fired, fuck you, you know?
It's business.
And so some people were like, they loved that. They're like, he's so straightforward, it's great. And then other people just hated him. You know, like my own father, who's in his 80s, is like, I'll never vote for Trump. And I would have said that during The Apprentice. And he actually, like, that's how he thinks. He's like, he's disliked his personality that long that it's unthinkable of him to vote.
You're skipping a step.
Which step?
Birtherism. The whole Obama
Oh, the
thing.
whole Obama thing.
Yeah, he was.
Was that more prominent in the news than I remember it? Because I feel like I only hear about that in hindsight.
It was really big in the circles that became what Trumpism became before this dude got into it, I suppose, or at least like I don't know, maybe like up to 2018.
There was a thing with the
2020.
what was it like those 5 kids in New York too. He was really publicly
Yeah, that was
outspoken
older.
about, yeah.
That was the Central Park 5 that got exonerated,
Yeah.
and he was like still calling for their death after their exoneration.
I'm pretty sure people got pissed at him for that too.
No, they ain't letting that go at all.
Well, and the
That's why they're pulling it
discrimination
up.
cases.
Like, I mean, the thing that gets me is like they'll pull that up, but they won't pull up the fact that Kamala Harris been locking up people for fucking for how long?
Oh, Kamala
You
Harris.
know what
is
I'm saying?
evil
She's
as hell,
done locked.
bro.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
she
done
kept
evil as
people
hell,
in
locked
prison
away.
so that they would be free labor for the state of California.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, Tulsi Gabbard, I thought, ruined her career at that point on the debate stage.
Yeah,
And
so she dropped out of that first election because she got like no delegates in her own
Tulsi
state.
murdered her on
Yeah.
live television, just tore her
absolutely.
apart.
There's
That's why
nothing,
Tulsi's not a Democrat anymore. They were like,
There's nothing the Democratic Party loves.
You're out of the
They're
club.
talking about putting her in Trump's cabinet.
oh yeah, I know. His cabinet's starting to look like this, like, misfit, disbanded all-star team. You know, he's going to have like RFK in it and Tulsi and
It's like
Elon
the fucking
Musk.
aisle
It's
of
like-
misfit politicians.
Yeah. He's like gathering the like half retarded Infinity Stones. You know what I mean? So we'll see what he does with the power, I guess. But
It's gonna be interesting, man.
I like most of those people. I mean, they're fine. I think RFK is hilarious. Who are you guys voting for? I'm going to go out on a limb and say you're voting for Trump.
I mean, I don't know. I still need convincing, bro.
Oh, okay. Well, you only got a few weeks left, and you voting for Trump too?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know yet. I'll probably vote for Snoopy.
Snoopy, you going to do a write-in?
Yeah, might as well.
Green Party?
No, I'm voting for Claudia and Karina of the Party for Socialism and Liberation.
Is that sign in your front yard is serious?
Yes,
I thought it was some.
I made it myself.
I thought like your neighbor had a kid and they made it in elementary
Finger
school.
paint.
It's fucking paint and a Sharpie. I don't
Oh,
have
that's
I don't have a printer contract
Okay.
or whatever, you know.
Yeah. If I get off my ass and vote, I'll be voting for Trump too. So
There you go. Common sense, brother.
All right. So, like, that question kind of ties into this next question. It's almost the same thing we were talking about, but it's a little bit more directed. What are your thoughts on the fact that Biden was too incompetent to stand trial, like we just talked about before, or continue to run for office, but yet he's continuing to run this country? Like, currently, right now, where the fuck is he? Like, seriously, obviously we've seen
Beach.
We've seen
Delaware.
makeshift appearances.
Looking for some ice cream.
We know exactly where he is. He's sinking Kamala's campaign ship, bro.
I have
does look
seen
like
that.
he's sabotaging it.
Like,
It
and
does
like
look like
I follow a lot of Shapiro and stuff like that, and that's the one thing that Shapiro says is nobody wants Kamala to lose more than Biden.
He was wearing that hat at a
He's gotta
campaign
be-
event in Pennsylvania.
He's not this one,
Oh,
though.
yeah,
This got the
yeah,
Pence.
you're right.
He had the
Right.
Vance hat.
I
He had-
showed
he had the
that.
new
He's got to
one.
be salty that they pushed him out.
Yeah.
That guy's got an ego, dude. He's got to be pissed.
I showed that to
I was
Luke
gonna get
at
that
work.
shirt. I was gonna get that shirt.
I thought it was a joke. I showed that to Luke at work, and I thought it was like somebody photoshopped the fucking Trump hat on there. And then the next day I came in, I was like, "Fucking Luke, it's real!" Like somebody
Yeah, dude.
actually got him to put a fucking Trump
Fuck
hat
him, I'm
on.
wearing that shit over. It's all like, that was like my dude.
I gotta say, Joe, like maybe because it sounds like you've looked at him more recently than me. I thought that I remembered that what that lawyer wrote about him not standing trial was that it did include that he was like old and stuff, but it wasn't that he was too old to face trial. It was that he was too old and sympathetic that a jury wouldn't convict him. Isn't that what he said?
You know, I should have pulled the
kind
actual
of the same thing,
documents.
but-
I think it's bullshit, and then just goes
it's
to show
bullshit.
that there's there's someone else pulling the fucking strings.
I think so.
It ain't him.
Some people had a theory at the time
be fair.
that they did that on purpose. That was the beginning of them kind of
Well, yeah.
trialing out, hey, we're trying to get rid of the old man, you know? So, I mean, that was some people's theories back then anyway, so.
Well, it could be, but I mean, like, it was an absolute blow up, and it was crazy because you had it was like 2 weeks of like actual serious coverage from the media. Like it was a good 2 weeks or so before like they announced Kamala was running. You got like legit coverage, and the media was all like, "Yeah, Biden's definitely senile." Biden, well, I don't understand. They acted like it blindsided him when we all knew, we all saw.
Blindsided me, they were honest. I was like,
Well, that's yeah,
happening?
It definitely blindsided me too, but I think that was just part of the plan, and that just goes further to show. And that's a question for later on. We'll get more into that topic for sure because there's a whole question on that what we're going to talk about. But yeah, I just the fact that Biden, he is still running this country, and after that debate that we saw, and just like how bad he got crushed, and it wasn't necessarily, I think, that he got crushed by Trump. It was that he crushed himself. He couldn't
Biden hung
perform.
himself.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't think
Dude
Trump
showed up and showed out.
Trump isn't, I don't think anybody would accuse Trump of being good at debates. It's, he's good at talking shit.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, right,
He's got some
good.
good one-liners, man.
does,
Like
yeah.
for
Oh,
real,
he's
some
good at
off-the-cuff
exalting them,
motherfucking.
you know.
like,
I watched
for
that.
sure.
I watched that entire terrible debate, and I finally got the payoff at the end when they started talking shit to each other about golf, dude.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, I remember
Your own
that.
bag. It's like, what?
Yeah. And like the thing is, like, I think Trump is good at Jerry Springer type debates. You know what I mean? And that's where debates just have become absolute shit. We'll get into it a little later. But I don't know if you guys watched the vice presidential debate, but that was like, as far as debates, I think that was a lot more pleasing. It was bad for TV because it wasn't interesting, but it's fucking politics.
I mean,
it's
they
not
were
supposed
so
to be
friendly
interesting.
with each other.
I think it made
Well,
people
it's-
feel good. You know,
I think it's just drama because drama sells.
it was more like the McCain Obama kind of debate. You know, like I think it kind of took people back and reminded them, like, hey,
You could
we don't
done a
have to
shot.
just sling mud at each other all the
You
time.
could have turned that into a
Can.
drinking game, man. Every time they said, "Well, we're just gonna have to agree to disagree," take a shot, bitch. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't have made it through.
I'm sure
like
my
the
opponent will agree with this. They kept like, it was like they were like,
I'm a knucklehead.
you know that game you play as a kid to see who hits first, where you're putting your hands over the bat, and whoever's on the top wins. It's like they were playing that the whole time on who could be fucking nicer to the other one.
Right.
You know? It was like, yeah.
Yeah, but I think a big part of that was that Vance softened enormously from like his campaign rally positions going into that stuff. So like he came in real soft, and Walz was ready to hit him on a bunch of like crazy stuff, but then he came in acting like a normal person. So it was just he was not equipped for that. And I mean, this dude is not like a professional debater either, right? He's just like a school teacher who became governor and has like a couple years of experience with this shit.
I mean, he called himself a fucking knucklehead in a live presidential debate. It's just not a good look. When somebody calls you out, you're like, what can I say? I'm a fucking idiot. You're like, okay, cool.
I mean, people. A lot of people
And
found
if
it
something
endearing.
happens
Like,
to her,
At least you admit it.
I'm the man.
Right.
Well, that's funny. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play this clip because we started talking about it now. I planned on playing it a little later, but since we're on the subject and it's just kind of relevant, one thing I did want to talk about when it comes to the debates themselves. Like, I really do think especially with the Trump and the Hillary debates, they were like fucking Jerry Springer episodes. They really were. And now you got Trump and Kamala, and they're eating the dogs. I mean, seriously. I mean, I should have pulled that clip too. Didn't. I've only had so much time, but they're like fucking Jerry Springer episodes, and that's why I say the vice presidential debate was a lot better.
That couldn't have been more better time.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have the dog interrupting. I got Mo trying to take care of that, but she's doing her best.
They're eating the dogs, and that motherfucker's like, I don't think so.
Not my
Yeah, he heard that
house.
shit. He's a smart motherfucker, man. He really is. But like that was fucked up, and I just really think the way that things are going, it's a mess. It's a fucking nightmare. And I think the vice presidential debate was definitely a little bit more pleasant as far as articulate people having a conversation about policy, which is what people that are interested in politics should fucking be watching a debate for, not a Jerry Springer show. It's not about the zingers or the one-liners. So, and I do want to say, and we could talk about it a little bit after I play this clip, but I think the debates are definitely biased. I think they're one-sided. Obviously.
Oh, yeah, they've shown that.
Yeah, Kamala and they pick their networks and everything else, and it is what it is. And so you saw a lot of that with the debate with Trump. There was a lot of fact checking, a lot of crazy shit going on. And
Some of it was fake, dude. It was like wrong fact checking.
I mean, they set him up. You know what I'm saying? Like he kept falling for the fucking debate, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then they knew he was going to respond with this, and then they had, but well, our facts say that.
She got him with the shit about people leaving his rallies, dude. He instantly lost his shit.
Oh yeah, dude. That's where we broke.
He's
Dude,
like,
that
nope.
was.
Yeah,
That
let's
was
see
the
this
snap
clip
point.
though.
Yeah, they did that absolutely on purpose, and I'll agree. Like, it's a mess how biased that these were. But the reason I grabbed this is because I was actually like proud of Vance for what he did and how he handled it. And this is how you deal with fact checkers being assholes. And I thought it was fucking great. Check this out.
And just to clarify for our viewers, Springfield, Ohio does have a large number of Haitian migrants who have legal status, temporary protected status.
Margaret, but
thank you, Senator. We have so much to get to.
Margaret, I think it's important
we're
because
going to turn out of the economy. Thank
Margaret,
you.
the rules were that you guys weren't going to
we're-
fact check, and since you're fact checking me, I think it's important to say what's actually going on. So there's an application called the CBP One app where you can go on as an illegal migrant, apply for asylum or apply for parole, and be granted legal status at the wave of a Kamala Harris open border wand. That is not a person coming in, applying for a green card and waiting for 10 years. That is the facilitation of illegal immigration, Margaret, by our own
Thank you, Senator, for
leadership.
describing the legal process. We have so much to get to, Senator. We have so much.
on the books since 1990.
Thank you, gentlemen.
The
We
CBP
want to have.
One app has not been on the books since 1990. It's something
He's still getting his word in. He's like, I don't need a microphone.
Gentlemen, the audience can't hear you because your mics are
Oh,
tied.
we
have
heard him.
so much we want to get to. Thank you for explaining the legal process. Nora?
So yeah, that was slick, dude. That's all I want to say. The way he handled that, I thought was incredibly slick.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, first off, I want to know why that dude looked like he had that face. That I know that.
Talking
look.
about walls.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Like, dude, he had that face of like my 2-year-old shitting her pants look. You know
He's
what I
definitely
mean? Like
deer in the headlights.
concentrating, like shoving that motherfucker out.
He
of
was
there,
getting
bro.
taken
That's what
into
he
deep
looked like.
water on that one. His
bro.
prep team didn't have him that far deep.
Yeah, he was all like, "Oh shit, I'm on the Titanic."
He's on the
Yeah,
northern
go.
border.
How
People
do you
walk
know
across
about
it
that?
like it's nothing, bro.
I thought he was frantic and taking notes that whole fucking time, and Vance looked absolutely professional, and I think Vance is a fantastic debater.
Vance showed up.
I really do.
Oh, dude, he came in and fucking laid the smack down like the Royal Rumble, dude. It was just like, fucking tore his ass up on that stage.
I can't say like I'm up on Vance's policies. I'm not updated as far as educated on all his policies. I'm sure he's probably a little more right wing than I would go. But as
He's
far
pretty
as
damn conservative, way more than Trump is.
yeah, and probably more than me. So like, I don't know if I'd ever vote for the guy to be president, and I'd have to look a lot more into it. But I would say, is as far as being articulate and debating, and at least there were two younger people actually, and you saw some articulation, and you saw some debates, and that's what we need. I think Kamala's a fucking moron, and Trump is I don't know. I wouldn't say Trump's an actual fucking moron, but he sure as hell speaks and talks like one, and it's fucking annoying to see that these are the choices for the fucking leaders of our country. I feel like the vice presidents are both better choices. Or yeah, the vice president running vice presidents.
Sure.
Yeah, they're both better choices than what we have in front of us. That's what I'm getting at. It's fucking stupid. I mean,
well,
it's
you
dumb.
mentioned bias on on these debates, but like, do you know who used to hold the debates like decades ago? It used to be unions. It used to be special interest groups. Like women's groups. So like,
do you mean debates or town halls?
I mean debates. Okay. So like the candidates would go before these groups and they would ask questions that are relevant to the people that are parts of these groups, right? So they would be relevant. But like all we see in these debates is questions about corporate crap, about war. Are you going to put more funding into the war? Are you going to go do this?
Don't forget about abortion.
Harder? And yeah, and all the culture war issues that they want to distract and divide people with.
Not wrong.
Yeah, but weren't the unions like Democrat?
Yeah.
They're like
unions
hardcore
are now.
Democrat.
But
they still are on like a political.
There's one
contribution.
union that got somebody in an uproar, dude, because they said we're not endorsing Kamala.
They said they wouldn't endorse anyone. Yeah.
Yeah, I
And they
forget.
always do. I mean, it's always Democrats, but
Well, there's a few that haven't endorsed this time around. I mean,
they,
there's a lot of issues with Kamala.
They
I mean,
did
'cause, I
polls.
mean-
It was that same union, but they did polls with their workers. And Biden was actually like 60-40, favored by the workforce, not the leadership. Kamala Harris was down like 65-35. So it completely flipped when she came in instead of Biden. To where
She's
now
so
I
bad.
think it's pretty safe to say, at least, I mean, in my experience, when I look around, and I mean, I am in a union, so a large one, but so when I look around, honestly, most blue collar workers and union people, they vote. They're more Trump voters than they are Democrat voters these days. And I think it's the first time that I've ever been alive where it's hard for me to look at Trump as like a Republican, because like Trump isn't Ted Cruz, he's not Mitt Romney, he's not, a George W. Like he's not what you would typically think of as a Republican until he came along. But I think for the first time now, like,
Trump's even not your regular Republican. He was
That's
a
what I mean.
Democrat for the longest time.
He's not.
Okay, so here's something I want to ask, especially to you, because I know you're a bit of a Trump guy, and that's that Trump, his first time around, was real anti-establishment, but like his whole cabinet ended up being establishment that time. And I know a lot of that cabinet's like in jail, so they probably won't be his cabinet this time around, right? It's going to be a different set of people, and that might look a little bit different. So there's a little bit of an argument, but like, do you think he's going to actually be anti-establishment this time, or do you think he's just going to fall into the same role that he did last time?
I'm hoping that it's going to be different, dude. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, like, in all honesty, I think he did fine the first time, man. I mean, seriously, until COVID hit, what was the real complaint? You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, we weren't at war with nobody, man. Like,
it's the first time in my lifetime that a president didn't start a new armed conflict.
right?
I mean, we had some small stuff stirring all over the place. We always do. Like our military, without our intervention or knowledge or anything,
We had
is
drone
like
strikes.
got shit all over the place. I mean, we had like operations going on in Africa.
Well, we always do, but not in
yeah,
war.
yeah,
Not in a
operation.
combat.
Yeah, not like a big war.
He's
yeah.
the first one my entire lifetime that didn't start a new war, essentially.
Well, I mean, my big problem with
wasn't he
him
the
was
first
the
one to
tax
walk
cut
across the
for the
DMZ?
Oh yeah, he did it by himself, dude. That
Yeah.
was a baller.
Baller.
That was
That
baller,
dude.
bro. I mean, like, what's North Korea gonna do? Be like, haha, we have Trump. Like,
Oh, exactly.
I mean,
He was like,
but that still took balls, bro.
They
That
didn't
still
hold
took
Dennis Rodman hostage.
They love Dennis Rodman.
hell
dude.
no, they love
Dennis
his
Rodman's.
ass.
Yeah.
It's
North Korea
funny.
is shit on way too much. It's better than people say.
I mean, I remember a
need to talk more
conversation.
about
I remember a conversation that me and Luke had at work, and it's fucked up. Like as ballsy as that was, walking over to North Korea, like how corrupt our government is and how fucked up everything is. That motherfucker could have been shot from any side. At that point, he could have been shot from our side to make it look like Korea did it, just to fucking start a war.
they wouldn't
Like
have
I mean,
started that shit,
I mean, I'm
but-
just saying. I feel like our government is that corrupt.
But
you
I do
know?
appreciate that he
It
was
is.
talking to leaders because, like, you need to have diplomacy. You can't
Right.
just take
absolutely.
this Democrat stance of like
See-
they're terrorists. We can't talk to them.
And
Like,
that's
if you're not
another
talking
reason
about
why
them, you're just
you
going to
need
have
him in
war.
office.
And nobody calls
'Cause
North
seriously,
Korea terrorists.
would you trust Kamala to fucking go over there and talk to him?
I wouldn't trust her to go pick up my Taco Bell order.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that's another reason why you need that man in office, man. Like, okay, so he associates with these motherfuckers, but he knows how to talk to these motherfuckers too.
Well, I mean, he also took us out of the Iran deal and moved the embassy in Israel to Jerusalem, which is like a huge reason for the current conflict that we're in right now.
There's always going to be a conflict.
Explain why
that conflict's been going
fighting
on
against each other, dude.
Years.
Yeah.
You know, actually,
that's nothing new.
If I
they had
can
1,000 years of peace until 1917.
Can I add something on to the question that you asked, James?
Sure.
All right, so a lot of people that are Trump voters, Trump supporters, especially in like, you know, podcast world kind of people, right? One of the biggest things that they complain about and what they're hoping for directly answers your question, and that's that everyone feels like he made a huge mistake getting these old crony politicians put in important cabinet positions, right?
Right.
And it heads of certain agencies. And a lot of it came back to Biden. A lot of those people turned on him. So one of the biggest hopes that people think, oh, well, and here's the idea, okay? Here's how they pitch it. So he knows where the bodies are buried now. He knows the landscape. He knows how it works. He knows how he got duped the first time. This time, if he staffs it with more of his type of people, more essentially American first people, and they're kind of all different stripes. We've talked about it, RFK.
Yeah.
You know,
Elon.
They're not necessarily conservatives. And a lot of them are political outsiders. Although, you know, maybe you can't say that about Tulsi, but she's been out of politics for a little while now. You know, what's it been, 4 years? So
they're definitely part of some new
the
paradigm
idea is that
of politics.
if he does better in that sense, then he can actually do the things that his fans want him to do. You know, whether or not that'll happen, I don't know. Like when I think of Donald Trump, I think that like you're looking at a guy who is really good at some things. I mean, that guy's a public perception marketing kind of retarded genius of some sort. You know what I mean?
Well,
he's not
America's a
terribly
business.
articulate. It's not. I don't think that he'd like ever wow you with his rhetoric. At least he never has me. The things I like listening to him say the most are when I'm laughing at him or with him because the guy's hilarious. You know,
One thing
Only
he does-
president that came out with his own shoe line.
Well, he does. He does so many rallies. He has a lot of practice, right? So he has time to alpha
and he
test,
stands
to
up there
beta
for
test, all this
hours
stuff.
just talking shit.
Right.
Most of
so
it doesn't even make sense. I
Most,
listen to
most
it.
of it is. Most of it ends up on the.
Did you see the
real,
line
bro,
for
like, real
people
shit he does.
to see him in Aurora, Colorado?
No.
I think he's speaking there tonight, dude, or he spoke there last night. That line was fucking sick, dude. If he can look that up, that line was, oh my, it just went until like you couldn't see no more.
Why is he even campaigning in Colorado? Colorado's a blue state.
He's in
It's not
Aurora
even a swing
because of
state.
The
you know, those
Venezuelan
videos
thing.
of like the Venezuelan gangs taking over apartment
Oh,
complexes
God,
and
shit
shit.
that didn't
That's
happen.
probably why
Yeah.
he's there.
No, yeah, I'll guarantee fucking see it.
It's for the optics for that, I would imagine.
That's
You
crazy.
pulling it up, Joe?
No, not right now. Because like I don't pay for the fucking YouTube premium and all that bullshit. We're gonna have fucking stupid ass ads and a bunch of shit. So it's just right now I kind of got what I got. But I'm glad we're on the subject of Trump and it just kind of naturally gravitated that way. I do have another clip, kind of programmed up here, and I wanted to move to the Trump assassination attempts. And I wanted to talk a little bit about those and what you guys think about those. So before we do, just check out this little clip to refresh our memories here.
If you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Now you got to show him getting up like a boss too. Though.
No, I got the whole clip.
And they say that whole little American thing right there is all Kevlar. That's why you're supposed to get down.
Yeah, like that
behind
banner is.
it. Yeah, that banner is all Kevlar.
I don't doubt it, man.
Hold, when you're ready, on you. Ready?
I've never heard the audio of this clearly.
Yeah, you hear a lot of it.
Great headphones.
You hear him looking for his shoes.
That's local SWAT, isn't it?
That I
The
believe
boys
that
with all the
is.
gear.
Did he have his shoes off, or was he just confused?
Listen,
No, I think that knocked out of
Yeah,
the
no,
shit.
yeah, he was like, find my shoes.
He got tackled.
I'm assuming that clear call means they had already shot.
Yeah, he was dead at this point.
yeah, it was. You heard all the shots right away.
Well, I mean, they're still going to treat it there. It's like there's an active shooter.
Yeah, they don't know if there's more. They don't know what
There
there's
was more
more.
than one.
And then we got the famous fight
Oh, they
bullshit.
fucked up his hair, dude.
You can hear him say, "Wait."
I'm
You
glad
can
they
hear him
have a
say,
chick that's 5'3"
Listen.
trying to cover him. That's great.
Yeah.
There it is. Motherfucker was like, "Wait."
What a fucking badass, dude. You got to give that props. You don't have to like the guy.
Yeah, I
Divine
mean,
props.
Mark Zuckerberg gave that props for Christ's sake. That was fucking crazy.
If
The
it had,
Secret Service is freaking out. They're like, get the fuck down,
if
man.
it had been a Democrat that shot him, he would have won. Like overwhelmingly, this would still be the only thing that we're talking about. But like because both of the people were like ex-Trump people, it's just fallen flat politically, man.
And shortly after that, you had the famous meme of Andy Milonakis trying to put her fucking gun away. And it didn't really work out.
You just call it Andy Milonakis.
I'm sorry. That's just what I fucking. That's what I see.
That's not wrong.
Yeah, I mean,
It was fucked up, dude. Like it was supposed to be a Secret Service agent. I heard some shit like it was an actual Secret Service
It was,
agent.
like,
or
wasn't she
Department
like?
of Homeland Security.
She's
Yeah,
like 5.
Oh,
they were
girl,
using,
yeah,
they were
something
using a
like
bunch
that.
of DHS agents because they
This
were low
dude's
on
like
personnel.
6'1".
I'll tell you what she is she's not fucking happy right now because the whole of America knows her and she looks like shit. Absolutely.
My old lady got pissed at me because I was at home when that happened. It was on a Saturday, and she came down. I was like playing games with my 5-year-old, and she's like, "Somebody just fucking shot Trump." And I was like, "Oh no," you know. So I go and look, and that was one of the first clips that I saw. And
I was on a float trip, dude.
honestly, the first thing I said was, I was like, "Look at that lady that can't get her gun in her holster." I was like, I don't know why I focused on that, but I was like. And then she got super pissed because I was like, "We need to not have women do that." And yep, we got a good hour-long fight.
It's
over
fine
it.
if it's woman. You just need people that are properly trained. If you pass the training,
You need like that chick that played Brienne in Game of Thrones, dude. You know, like 6'5", Swedish.
I still
ass
managed to
fucking-
survive and not see that show. Not one episode.
I mean,
All right, so let's gear it towards the actual the question at hand here. The Trump assassination attempts. Did the Secret Service fail to do their job to secure the perimeters for the safety of Trump?
yes,
100%.
yeah.
Do you think there's any weight to the conspiracy theory suggesting that Democrats were involved?
Hillary missed twice.
No.
I did see those memes as well. I should have grabbed some of those fucking things. That would have been great. But I feel
But what's some of the conspiracies like?
personally, I
know,
do
like-
feel that the Democrats were involved, but like I don't even know what you call a conspiracy theory nowadays because
Are you talking about the one where they're like, "Oh, I think it was staged"? That whole thing.
well, there's a lot of them. There was definitely some people think that it was a fucking ketchup packet or whatever, and it was all bullshit.
Yeah, the crazy Democrat conspiracies.
He would carry a ketchup packet. I'm just saying.
he would.
He's on that ludicrous shit.
One time,
Right,
McDonald's
he's
was
all
out of
like-
ketchup.
Right.
Keep
Like you
mustard
never
in
know
your
when
car.
you get that McNugget.
You never know when you're going to get
McDonald's was
Keep
never
some
out of
mustard
ketchup in
your
my
car.
administration.
Yeah, Trump was like, you never know when you're going to get assassination attempted. You know, so keep,
Right.
keep some
Or
ketchup
like
on
the
it.
random French fries.
That was some
there
of the,
from
like that
someone's
that
lunch.
conspiracy theory that it was fake and whatever. Like it's some of the most unhinged shit. Like a fucking dude died behind him. Like,
Well,
was he
that's
a paid
Trump-
marter? Like,
Yeah.
what the
Right,
fuck are you
exactly.
talking about?
I mean, it's a hell of a
Trump derangement
conspiracy
syndrome,
theory,
man.
but I wouldn't put it past our government in some ways. But it is. I don't believe that one for
Well,
sure.
all right. I'll say this, and that's that the lack of accountability in all of our organizations, including across our government, is bad. And it's meant that we've had decay in all of our institutions. So, like, the Secret Service just does a shit job. And, I mean, people are always trying to kill politicians. You got crazy people all over this country, desperate people that have been through all kinds of weird shit and are, like, ready to do something crazy. And all the time we see these little headlines that they're like page 10 of the newspaper. Secret Service arrests so-and-so crazy person outside of this thing with a gun and a bomb and all this other shit. But they always catch them. But like all you need is a little bit of shittiness, a little bit of lack of accountability, a little bit of degrading skill, and suddenly shit starts slipping through. You know, that's my take on it.
I'm definitely in your camp that I don't think that, you know, I mean, I'll joke about it all day because it's hilarious, but I don't think that Hillary Clinton had something to do with it or that the Democratic Party was trying to plan it. Now, the closest I can get to that seems rational to me is that when there's layer upon layer upon layer of failures, which there were, especially in the clip that we just watched, the one that happened in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can start to really look to somebody as, I mean, it was like you planned to fail or you were okay with it. You know, maybe you just cut a corner here and there, cut a corner there. Maybe some of the people that are in that detail or that are in management, maybe they hate Trump. Some of them probably do because a lot of people hate Trump. Do I think they actually planned it? Absolutely not. But here's where they're really like, of course they failed that day. Like Chris said, Secret Service hasn't been doing their job well at all. But where broader speaking, our government failed really is like after the fact, why the fuck won't they tell us anything about it? Like if you don't want me to come up with conspiracy theories, don't leave the room for it.
Okay,
Yeah, how do we
like,
still not like, how was this kid Crooks? How was he? He was like cremated in 3 days. His apartment was scrubbed clean.
There was supposed to be like something where like they lost his body for a hot second.
And they still won't tell you. Like we're still not even clear who shot Crooks. They're not even clear on who shot Crooks. It's like who did what did.
And there was more than one shooter.
They determined that it was the other sniper that was across.
I feel like I've heard it flip flopping, and I know they put out a picture recently of Crooks's rifle, and his rifle got hit. So what I heard being speculated, I guess, is that he was shot at by multiple people. So the sniper team, you've seen the video of the dude who kind of is like, what the fuck? And then gets back down and shoots.
Yeah.
I think, because it's really not that clear, that shot that you saw that guy take hit Crooks's gun, which kept him from taking another shot. And then now they're saying that like they think it was a local cop sharpshooter that shot. So it's like they're just not clear about anything. So you can't really fault people for coming up with their own theories because they're going to wonder.
There was more than one shooter.
Yeah. You do? Where do you think the other shooter was at?
On that water tower, man.
There are people that reported seeing someone up there, but
Man, that is a hell of a shot, dude. To be able to pull that off.
If there was
From
a
the water
second shooter and
tower?
they didn't
Hell,
get
yeah.
him, then
you have any idea how many yards
that's
away it
weak.
was?
What was it, like 300?
Oh, he don't even have to.
Yards
It's got to be.
He don't
If
even
it's only
have to
300,
or
that's
more.
if it's only
He
300.
doesn't even
that's
have to
an
be
easy
the
shot
guy
for somebody.
shooting
300
at
yards ain't
Trump,
bad,
man.
but
I mean,
damn.
that.
Whoa, one
all
at
you
a
need is
time. But BJ, over there.
I mean, all you need is a distraction.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, because he already hit. All right, so how in the hell did he slip past all the security with his drones? I mean, where in the fuck? I mean, come on.
You talking
man.
about the water tower guy or the kid?
I'm talking about the kid.
Yeah, why the fuck was the ladder up there?
Well, I'll tell you how. You guys remember back in the Obama years, somebody got up to the White House and ran all the way up the White House lawn,
got in
and
the
they
White
got
House.
into the White House.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
and they were like
yeah, I do
fucking around
remember
inside.
that.
They're like, I didn't expect to get this far, and they were just like running around opening doors and shit. I mean, this shit has been broken for a long time, and it's only gotten worse and worse. So the cascading failures have gotten closer and closer until we're at this point where shit's just fucking broken. You know?
I mean, the guy got away with throwing a shoe at Bush.
Yeah, that was great.
God, the
I
look,
love
on,
that
the
guy.
look on Bush's face. No, he ducked it, but Bush came back up like a prairie dog. He was
Anytime
like,
you mention that, the dude who did it will respond to you on Twitter.
nice.
Real?
Yeah,
Hell
for real.
yeah.
He loves that shit. He's still doing great, man.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's some funny ass shit. All right, so
love America.
let's get into this real quick. All right, so we got the Trump assassination attempts. We think the CEI or the Secret Service CEI. Yeah,
Just made up a new shit.
well that's going to be something new. That's coming 2025. You guys don't even know about it yet. But so we do think that the Secret Service failed. And for the most part, it probably wasn't Democrats.
Were they saying something
I-
about like how that one short lady was like a DEI
I was not
hire?
convinced.
You know what's
Something.
fucking up the green screen? It's the goddamn
that.
smoke. I just fucking realized that. I saw Topher just fucking poofing on the cigar. I'm like, that's why it's
almost
fucked
done.
up. The green
We're
screen's not working well
almost
because the
there.
room's smoky as shit. I'm gonna have to turn on that fucking filter thingamajigger. It's
Yeah.
probably gonna be loud and whatever. But
We're probably
yeah.
ready for a break.
Just
here.
wait till
I mean,
Chris
yeah.
vapes.
Hey, look, the thumbs up thing fucking
it's
came
back.
up again. It's back. Who did that? God damn it! If I could just catch how that happens.
You'll
What
have
the
to review
Get
the
it-
footage.
Yeah, you get it and
Yeah.
edit it in.
It doesn't make any
No
fucking
idea.
sense at all.
You're gonna go by
All
this
right.
shit, like,
So,
screen by screen.
All right. So we got the. All right. Do you think Trump is guilty of all 34 felony charges? Do the charges themselves seem repetitive when looking at this chart? Hold on. Bing.
Yeah, it's all the same charge over and over again. essentially.
Exactly. Like everybody keeps screaming, 34 felony counts, and I'm looking at these things just look at this, and it's a scroll down type of thing. I only grabbed the first top, but they are basically the same exact fucking charge, but there's an invoice, and then there's the check paid, and then there's the ledger entry. They're all the same fucking thing.
Well, that's how they do it.
So we have 12 charges of a crime, but for somehow they multiplied it by 3 essentially.
Hold on.
I
So is this when he screwed the hooker?
No, that's Stormy
She
Daniels. That was
she was not a
paying that
prostitute.
bitch,
she was a lady of the night.
this actually
but that was
was.
the hush money. Right. That was the hush
Yes.
money shit, right?
This is the
Yeah,
reason.
that,
Yes.
that was a hush money charge.
This is
That's
right
hush
here.
money charge?
This
Yeah,
is the resort.
is that what we're talking about?
Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
I thought you were
That's
talking
this.
about
Stormy Daniels
the
one.
money loan thing, bro.
Yeah, I thought this
Money
was
loan
a
thing
New
was
York
the
That
charge.
was even more
Mar-a-Lago,
ridiculous.
Mar-a-Lago.
So how are they?
Absurd.
All right. So that is for the Stormy Daniels thing.
They
This
tried to buy you
particular one,
Mar-a-Lago,
yes.
like-
Okay. So how in the hell are you gonna damn try to bring someone and put them in prison, dude, for paying a girl for something she already gets paid to
hush
do.
money payments are legal, by the way. There's nothing illegal about them. The issue that he got caught up in is that essentially it was Michael Cohen, his former lawyer. You've probably heard the name.
Yes, all these payments are to Michael Cohen, I believe. All the ones shown right here.
So
Like the
he
actual.
was his attorney. So are they legal fees? Well, of course they are. But what this trial did was it tried to argue that those legal fees were actually campaign money, and that him paying her the hush money was a campaign violation, essentially.
Which it was.
I don't think so.
How?
And I think on appeal, that's going to get thrown out.
I say, forgive my ignorance on this, but how?
I can't remember their specific argument.
It's because it was directly relevant to his campaign at the time. You know, if the whole story comes out, then it's a huge blow and everything. So
he just used that for a tax write-off?
No,
I don't think he was accused of that.
no. He did a bunch of other stuff with taxes. That
Yeah, he's
was in
done
the New York
plenty.
cases and the other stuff. I mean,
wouldn't
plenty
it be like
worse.
money laundering?
I
Like
don't-
motherfucking, he paid the lawyer for like legal fees, but then the lawyer turned around and gave it to the chick for something.
The
else.
prosecution
For
was arguing.
services
The prosecution was
rendered.
arguing that those were campaign funds.
they stack charges on
Yeah,
people
but
all
then
the
it
time.
got
like
sold
this, though. That's
as.
not
But I
right.
mean, like, seriously, at the end of the day, Trump couldn't like do his thing and be like, "Here's some money." You know what I'm saying? He was like, "I got somebody that's going to pay you," and so he middlemaned it, and then the middleman did it, and then in order to do the documentation to make everything look legit, it was like, "Hey, it's campaign money."
I want to say that one of their big
But,
points.
I mean,
So the lawyer did it.
one of their big points is that
the
Cohen
lawyer was the middleman.
Well, Cohen wrote like all of his checks for him, and I'm pretty sure that the main sticking point was that all the checks that were written for actual campaign expenses were also signed by Michael Cohen. I'm pretty sure that was the legal logic they were
Well,
working
Cohen
with.
also admitted that it was campaign stuff. So Cohen flipped on Trump, and that was a huge part of the
but-
case.
I know, and he was like the star witness in that, right? But would you believe if Michael Cohen walked in the room right now and told you something? Would you believe him? Because I fucking wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
No.
No, hell no.
And I don't just say that because he
Right
was
now.
a witness against Trump. Like, no, when he was Trump's guy, he was full of shit. He defrauded Trump.
Right, that's what
I don't know
I'm
if you're
saying.
aware of
So
that, but like
No, that's part of the
he
case,
himself
yeah.
got in trouble
Right.
for stealing a bunch of fucking money from Trump. Like,
That's what I was
not exactly
asking.
a
It's
loyalist, you know?
It's like, how is he going to get charged for something that his lawyer
yeah, he's
did?
he's
or whoever
he's
the
a
fuck he
convicted
was?
felon for stealing from Trump, and so like what throws Trump under the bus because he's probably going to get. He'll probably get something,
My take
yeah,
on
a
it
little.
is
Hey, he cooperated with the court.
there's so much
parole,
shit that
little-
Trump is guilty of. I don't care. And a lot of this stuff, I mean,
Oh, yeah, I mean, you
judges
don't
he's
get-
appointed and shit.
Yeah,
For you,
dude,
what's-
you don't
what's-
get to
what's the
top
guiltiest
without
one for you?
stepping on somebody.
What's the
bro.
guiltiest one for you? Like, what do you think? What are you most sure of his guilt on?
I'd say the Georgia case, but that one's been fucked up by the prosecutors sleeping around and doing dumb shit. So,
Like the calls to was the call with Raffensperger or with Kemp?
I don't
I
fucking.
think it was Raffensperger. The phone call where he's asking him to find votes,
Yeah,
2020 election. He called, what is he, the Secretary of State, Raffensperger? In
I
Georgia?
think so. Yeah.
He called him. I mean, there's a recording of it. You can listen to it. But he called him and was. Now, Trump speaks really hyperbolically. So he was essentially saying, I know that I won that state. You just have to find the votes. Some people construed that as him saying, like, hey, go make up votes. That's not how I heard it. How I heard it was, I mean, it's Trump. He actually thought that he won that state. Wrong or right?
I do remember
he
that.
believed
I do
that.
remember that. I just didn't know that was.
The Democrats
that
spent
was a court
last
thing
I
in
checked,
Georgia?
north of $80 million to prevent an actual full recount and hand count of the ballots. They pretend they did one in Georgia, but they didn't. So if people, again, like it's kind of this running theme where like, if you want people to not have conspiracy theories, explain it. Don't leave room for it. Go and do a full hand recount.
Yeah, but
Then
the
all of us
Democrats
that
are
wrong will
political
shut the fuck
actors.
up.
Like the Democrats are a political party and a political machine, like anything else. They have all their incentives to be
Yeah.
shitty. They're not going to open up and be clean for the same reason that they're not going to tell us about UFOs or whatever the fuck else they've got.
That one
They
got
already
thrown out
did.
because Fannie Willis was banging her co-counsel.
Yeah,
I forget the
Yeah,
guy's
that's
name.
what I was talking about. Yeah,
Okay, the Georgia one.
although that started after, but still, it doesn't matter. Like you can't be doing that. That's a conflict of interest in any case.
So, I mean, really, is the Stormy Daniels, like the case itself,
don't
really
think anybody cares about
relevant
that.
when anything comes to this fucking country? I mean, they made it a huge
not
deal.
At all. I think it was a smear campaign. They absolutely was just trying to make him look bad. That's an
Just
any way
any
necessary.
way.
You can tell by the
Anyway.
timing of it.
Oh, absolutely.
And
Yeah,
the fact that like a couple of those cases got that same judge in the Southern District of New York, and that's supposed to be random.
It's not so random, dude.
Right.
No,
They found the one that
they
hated
never-
him the
yeah.
most, and they were like,
Well, I don't know about hated him the most. I mean, they weren't that unfriendly.
is it Chutkin? Is that the name?
I don't remember.
Judge Chutkin.
Damn,
He's got so many fucking. He's got so many
He
legal
appointed
trials
so-
going
he
on.
appointed
into
so
research
many
shit, but you
judges,
guys
though.
know names and all that shit. What the
He
fuck?
knows
That's
names.
impressive.
I don't-
I'm
the
all like
nature-
trying to picture these people that
The
I
nature of what I do
Holy
for a living, I can listen to like between 8 to 12 hours of like podcasts and news shit a day because I don't have to think. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Now, a lot of
I do
time
the
I do
thinking.
like a lot of time I do history or even fiction stuff or audiobooks. So it's not like I'm listening to political podcasts all the time, but you know, a couple hours a day, and you'll probably have it's probably more than anybody needs to listen to. But
My job's not that complicated. Like seriously, dude. Like my first job, not that complicated. I could do that, but damn, I just don't. Like I would. Okay, like I will seriously. I my podcast is oh shit, dude. The redhead and
was it Josie
Bobby
the
Lee.
redhead libertarian or
no,
whatever?
the
that
Bobby
chick?
Lee and Andrew. It's like best friends or something like that. Worst
Bobby Lee,
friend.
the comedian.
Yeah,
Is he a
the little
comedian?
Asian dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I got to.
Oh, I think I
Apples.
know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to look it up real quick, man. But yeah, dude, that's like, and they don't do anything political, man. It's mainly like,
He does like weird, like crazy,
yeah,
scary
Bobby.
ass videos. and
Bobby
shit.
Lee is like, yeah, this weird ass dude. I don't know.
Yeah, he's
you know
funny.
who Bobby Lee is, right?
I don't.
Little Asian dude.
I don't watch shit.
He's a comedian.
Yeah.
Yeah, Asian comedian. I just.
It's easier to bring to mind when you
Yeah.
Because his name, like, he doesn't have an Asian name. He's Bobby Lee.
Yeah, it's a pretty white name or a pretty American name.
All right, guys. So I'd say we're coming up on our last 10 minutes here. The first, I don't even know. I don't know if we're going to call it episode 1, episode 2, whatever the fuck, or like do episode 1 in parts. But what do you say we end it a little lighthearted here?
We're in your
And
basement. I don't get-
let's play a little game. I'm
about to
really,
turn into
I'm really
Saw
proud of this.
movie.
I'm really proud of this.
Right, you got to
play a
saw off
little
his
game.
ankle to live.
He chained us to the table.
Bad friends.
Oh, is this the meme game?
Shit's about to get real.
All right, guys.
He just goes above
So-
and beyond every time.
Solid
I do.
work,
He
though.
went all
I
out
do.
for this shit.
I do.
Yeah, no, that's.
Solid.
I like to think so.
You know when they say it was made with love.
Yeah.
This was. So,
I mean,
so embraced.
I even cut and paste this shit to where it goes for 20 minutes just in case this game goes longer than I need it to. So I have 21 minutes and 36 seconds of just this stupid background bullshit to go with.
Should have gone with the Axel Foley theme music.
So I guess I'm going to do this because I'm not sure. I just wanted to have some kind of game and I thought this would be fun, a little lighthearted. So what I want to do is I'm going to show you guys a meme, and then I want just your first reaction. And obviously, the first person's fucked. It's just how it works. So we're going to keep going down the line. I'm going to start with BJ over there, Black James. And
You know, I'm cool with sitting at the back of the bus, bro. You don't always have to go.
well, you're up front now. You know, you're the DEI hire, by the way.
All right, man. Hey, fuck. Goddamn.
Shit.
It always comes full circle.
Hey,
It
man.
always comes full circle.
Let me get a black guy with a Trump hat in here. Let's do this.
Chris is trans, right?
Hey, well, like I said, this is a very diverse panel. I'm very
Everybody
happy.
looked at him. They're like, what the fuck?
I'm very happy with this panel. I really am. Like, you guys are fucking awesome. It's perfect. So basically, we're gonna start with that. I want to get like all your opinions, but the first person to answer is gonna be James. We'll start with the left, and then the next meme I show is gonna be Luke, and then the next meme I show is gonna be Topher, and you know, so on, so on. YDJ. So
Put some respect on that name.
He come from
put
the
some
street.
respect on that.
He come from the street.
All right, so here we go. First meme, I'm gonna go ahead and show. I just want to get your reaction. What's your first thoughts on this when you see this, James?
No fucking shit. Decent, wise, reflective, compassionate, educated. Yeah, dude, if that's not fucking transgender bullshit.
Is that where it is? Your thoughts go to transgender on that?
Is it tranny?
Immediately, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Like that.
Let
That's
me
your
roll
first
my
thoughts when you
eyes
see
harder.
that.
Yep, that's that alphabet gang bullshit, bro. Like, for real. Like, I feel like I should get a trophy just for reading that bullshit.
I feel like she campaigns the same way that Target tries to sell home decorations to white chicks. It's just like live, love, laugh.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, just to
door,
defend Kamala, not that I am, but like this was not a Kamala campaign by any. This is just a meme. This is a meme that somebody made. I mean, my first thoughts are, why the fuck would this even have to be made? Really, I did. What are you trying to prove or say? Because personally, I think those are all fucking lies. Decent, wise, reflective, compassionate, educated, unifying, and entirely sane.
I thought
Why
maybe
do
they were
you
trying
need
to mock her, though. The entirely sane part? It seemed
Yeah, I
like
mean,
mock
like,
her.
there at the end, they got very,
Yeah, 'cause
like,
they call Trump crazy.
I found
Oh, is
these.
that the deal?
I found these from very democratic people that are all for Kamala. They share this shit all the time on
That's
my
how they're
feed.
selling that bitch?
Have you ever heard of the professional management class? I mean, it's not a class in terms of like what we could talk about when we're talking about class, but the management people, that culture of people, that's what that is. That's how they think. That's how they advertise, right?
So-
that's like something you would see passed down from like your middle managers down to your employees.
Would it be
like,
better
here's
if
what
I
we
talked
need to
about
do.
that
We need
bitch
to be
with my
efficient
pinky
and
out,
synergistic.
looking at that picture?
Was that a
think you have to
direct
hook it
quote
slightly.
from her?
I don't think that she could say that clearly. I don't, so probably not.
I couldn't even think that clearly.
On a
dude.
teleprompter,
Like,
she's got it. But
I don't know what that was.
All right. Luke, you're up. Here we go.
Get in the box, son.
Yep, you're
do
up
you have
here.
to pay Getty Images for
All right,
this?
Luke. First thoughts. This is a lot more simple. There's not much to read here,
All
but
right, that's good.
Ooh, right on, right on, man.
I like
You
that.
lucky son of a bitch.
I know, right?
go
I had
back.
to sound out some shit.
What you think, Luke?
I don't know.
Let me say that-
Dude has the look of my 8-year-old trying to shit her pants. that's all I can.
And he smelled it.
All I've
Did you
seen.
see the way
Right.
he looked at him? He looked like he smelled it.
Put that back up there.
I mean, yeah,
back.
dude.
Look at him. He's all like,
You know
yeah,
he did
you
it.
know, you
You're
know what
changing that
happened.
diaper.
He's like, come on, bro. Are you
a solid
serious
move.
right now? He's like, dude, look at this guy. No, bro. That's all I got. That dude just shit his pants. That's what happened. He had too many chili dogs. Too many of them.
I
He
agree
looks
with
like
it.
he would be in that contest.
I think Vance fucked him up. I really do, and it was kind of wild because
I think
like
everyone
you
does.
guys were talking about earlier. I do think Vance came overly nice, and Walls was like, "What the fuck." Really?
Dude, he was a sledgehammer up there.
Yeah,
bro.
according to all the polls, he came out looking pretty sympathetic to a lot of people too. So I mean, it was a bit of a wash. But I didn't watch it, so I don't have a strong opinion.
He came across as sympathetic to me, too.
Hey, could you put that picture back up there one time?
Yeah. There it is.
Okay, so just imagine him dude with like a bib. Do you remember Pee Wee's Big Adventure?
Yeah,
You know what I'm
bro.
saying? And then
Yep.
like a bib, dude, but it's like the large Marge from Pee Wee's. And then tell me he couldn't. I'm just backing up your chili dog thing.
Yeah, I got
You know
it.
what I'm
Just
saying?
tell him Large Marge sent you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude.
That's the look right there, dude. And he shit his pants, dude, with a motherfucking large Marge bib on.
Dude,
and then
I'm
he's looking at
serious.
you like,
Can we
you're
just say,
changing
why
that
does,
diaper.
like, real though, JD Vance always looks like he's wearing what is that
Eyeliner,
shit?
yeah.
Eyeliner?
Yeah.
It
Oh, yeah,
almost
he's
looks
very
like-
sexy,
Dude,
bro.
it almost
He definitely is.
Have you seen that dude without facial
Not
hair?
sexy, but wearing
That dude without
eyeliner. But I mean,
facial
Oh
hair.
yeah,
Really
dude. You
cool
just want to
Pee Wee.
stare at his eyes and just be like, "Tell me lies."
no, there's definitely eyeliner.
Don't look at him without facial hair. It's bad.
There's
That beard's
definitely
putting in a
eyeliner.
lot of work.
Dude,
That
it
man has
almost.
definitely performed at a drag show at
When,
some point. in
who's
his
the last
life.
guy before JD Vance to
Somebody
campaign
loves you a
for
lot.
the executive office for like that had a beard though? How long has it been?
It's been a minute.
What?
Vance is the first guy in forever to campaign for either vice president or president with a beard.
Yeah,
Like who was the last one who did it?
it was before Jimmy Carter. So I mean, we're
Yeah,
talking
you
at
give,
least
like
50
even further
years.
back than that, like
fuck,
not
dude.
Kennedy, not Nixon, not
Right.
any of them. I don't know.
Not Eisenhower.
It's
not
been a long
Truman.
time though. He's bringing the beard back.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
that
Fucking
picture,
William
bro.
Taft or something.
That
Like,
fucking picture.
Alrighty.
It looks like they asked him what 1 + 1 was.
It was pretty bad.
It-
All right,
it's just
this
like-
is
I
this
didn't
is a
prepare
good
for this.
one. This is a good one for Topher here.
All right.
I'm really just going down the line, but I'm kind of glad this one came up. It just kind of works out. Topher, thoughts first thoughts here.
I mean, yeah.
Just an agreement?
Yeah, I mean that's like what like, look, log cabin Republicans are a myth. The Republicans are still pretty anti-gay in a lot of ways. They're still shitty. They're still bully people. They still say this is an unnatural lifestyle and all this shit. So, like, yeah.
Traditionally, you're correct about Republicans, but do you want to know who the first person ever running for president that said that they were for gay marriage was? It was Trump.
No.
Yes. Obama campaigned saying he was against it. And so did every president before him.
Hillary by 2016 was for it too. She was against it in 2012, but no, I hear you.
You know, you're right. She might have said it the same year. I don't actually earlier about it. But
yeah, but like it was way too late on both parties. They were both. They were followers. They
can
weren't.
I say
leaders
something
on
about
the
that
shit.
meme?
Yeah, sure. Do you want to see it again?
No.
you don't, because it's,
No,
right,
fine.
it's
Like,
right here.
look,
And there it is.
Yeah,
Like,
let's see
I'm
that.
with Chris. Like, I totally get the point that they're making here. That like there are probably shitty parents out there that if their kid was, you know, confused, asking some questions, saying shit like "I'm gay," maybe they would like disown them and, you know, kind of push them out of their influence. Because if you look at the bottom, like where their feet are,
Yeah.
it's from red to blue. So the meaning is more like,
Well, yeah, it's Republican Democrat.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it means.
so like,
yeah.
like I can see a lot of
But now
truth in
the
it. But at the same
Democrats are
time,
campaigning
like,
with Dick Cheney, so like the party structure is broken. I think at this point, like when I go to like communist events, that's where I see all the gay and trans people. Like even Pride is like mostly straight tourists at this point, you know.
so you're saying everyone with a mental disorder? I'm just kidding. Just kidding. No, but anyway, like the thing that I would say that like about memes like that and that kind of idea is that, and you know, I've got kids, right? And so especially if you're talking about like any kind of issue with trans stuff, and Chris already knows this, but one of my kids is like the exact age, she's autistic, to where like, I swear to God, I know my little girl, if she had a friend at school that she really liked, and her friend tried to convince her that there was something going on with her like that, she'd come home and start saying it. There's like a very real chance that I'll have to deal with this someday. So it's a, you know, it's a
Doubt.
close to home.
No,
Here's the other thing: would I
they're
ever
easily
shove a
influenced.
kid out of my house or be mad at them for being gay? Absolutely not. What am I going to do? You know what I mean? So like, I get it, but
But it still
Well, you're
shouldn't be
not a
forced.
shitty
It
parent.
shouldn't be discussed in school.
oh, well, yeah, sure.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it shouldn't be discussed in school, and that's something that
You know, maybe
just
like,
leave the kids
okay, you know
alone.
what?
It depends
Let's
on
say
how you're
like maybe like
framing it,
high
though.
school juniors and seniors, if you want to talk about that kind of stuff, because it's like somewhat civil rights connected, somewhat just kind of like current events, kind of like at that age, like if you want to talk about it and have a discussion, sure. But if you want to start being like, hey, nobody tell the parents that their kid is now calling themselves a different name and thinks they're a different gender or sex or whatever it is, you know what I mean? Like, no.
Okay, but
And we've had that here. Like, that's somewhat close to home. I was out in Rockwood.
But okay, with that logic though, with being able to have high schoolers make that decision on if they
Well, I
want to
didn't
do
need
section,
like, well, yeah.
you know, be gay and da 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 da.
Well, they're going to anyway, whether you allow them to or not.
Well, yeah,
by the time
okay.
they're that age.
But like with that being said, thinking that they're like a sound mind and body to be able to make decisions and do. Kamala said, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't rely on what the freshmen in college to that age demographic, the kids that still live in dorms. You can't rely on them for shit because they're stupid. They don't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she was attacking protesters. Yeah.
Man, I mean, like that
Who's she
all
saying that about?
sparked
I'm not
like
familiar
seriously
with it.
from a meme. You guys are on a roll. I got to tell you though.
Oh, yeah,
we're
meme
playing
game's
we're
going
playing
too
the
long.
we're playing the meme game. I mean, it's cool. That's why I made the meme game music like
You're about
21
to run
minutes
out of
and
your
37
21-minute sample.
seconds. No, we're good.
James
We're good.
had to get on his
I mean,
soapbox and say his shit.
well, you know,
It
either
matters
way.
to me in a real deal. It's not just something I read about on the internet.
Well, we got one
Matters
last
to me,
one.
too.
We got one last one for James, which I mean, this is perfect because like, I'm sorry, YDJ, and
some goddamn respect on that.
YDJ. We got some for YDJ over here in the house. So we got one last meme.
That was also a Stone Toss comic. He's a fucking Nazi, and he's but
There's a
it's-
guy named Whitey J that's a Nazi comic.
No,
Holy
Stone
shit.
Toss, who made that
Wow, that
comic
looks
that was
like
before,
nasty.
but he didn't make that
the
comic.
meme,
He made
the meme.
he made the.
I was like, fuck, dude.
He made
What am
the
I
basis
representing
that has been memed a million times on. So that's like a derivative meme. It's a second order
Yeah.
meme. You wouldn't understand.
You're right.
Well, we're gonna give this
Better-
last one here to
better give me an easy
Whitey
one, Joe.
J. So
Give me this
Whitey
one.
J, I'm gonna need you to look at this meme, Whitey J, and I'm gonna need your first opinion on it. Ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1,
It's like a
bam.
Rorschach test. Oh, this fucking meme. Jesus Christ.
What do you think about this? What are your first thoughts, bro?
First off, those people didn't pay for tickets to the game, and that's why they're outside of the fence. And so they're committing a crime, and they better not record it. or try to post it online. You know, I understand the point that it's making. I also think it's a bit too reductionist. First off, let's be practical here. You don't design the fence on the outside of a baseball stadium so that people can see over it.
Right.
So again, these are freeloaders that we're talking about, and I don't know.
So we're just gonna go into that. I mean, you just kind of went
breaking the law.
kind of like realist on this, but like really went to the actual.
So what it looks like to me is go back to it.
This is what I said.
Yeah,
This
okay.
man can't
All right.
interpret a meme.
Look at the reality.
It's hopeless.
You know what I'm seeing here? I'm seeing the guy that worked his ass off and bought the most fucking crates and brought them is doing the best. And that lazy little shit down on the right worked 10 hours this week and has 1 crate, so they don't get to watch the baseball game.
Motherfucker don't even have a crate.
And the liberation,
Yeah, what about the guy? What about the guy in the hole, man? The guy was in the fucking hole. What happened to him?
The
Who dug the
liberation
hole?
one is even more ridiculous. The liberation
Somebody
one
pushed
has
him into
3
a hole.
people in the outfield, like obstructing play. That's not liberation. That's chaos.
That's a lawsuit waiting to happen.
That's like
Oh,
them
fuck
soccer
yeah.
games, dude. You ever see
Terrible
them
meme.
shits?
Memes are about communicating abstract ideas, right?
Okay.
Obstructing play. That's fucked up.
Like people say the same thing about art.
I mean, he nailed it.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's all I got on that meme. Anyway.
I mean, I gotta say, dude, it was a really simple view on it, but I mean, the simplest view sometimes, I don't know, sometimes it makes the most sense.
man, he just went for it. He just said, fire the torpedoes, bro.
That's fucking great.
All right, guys. Well, I gotta say, we are actually a little over our first hour of recording, and I can't thank you guys enough. This has been fucking awesome. So we're gonna take a piss break or whatever you call it. I don't know if we're gonna name this episode 1 or episode 1 part 1 or whatever. I hope I get at least another one out of you guys, because yeah, it's only 9:15. We're good. We're good.
Oh yeah.
I got time to hang.
So just getting the
I'm just
buzz
now
on,
getting
getting the
drunk.
stuff. Yeah, exactly. I mean,
we're just getting into the zone. The
yeah,
next
we
one will be
haven't
good.
even gotten into the good stuff yet. So
We gotta put part 2 behind the paywall.
no, you guys are fucking awesome. This has been a fucking blast. So let's take a little break. Take some time off. Let me make sure this footage isn't all corrupt and stupid. And thank you
Looks
so
good on our
much.
monitor that we can see.
Yeah, well, that's what we got. You're just mirroring my monitor, honestly. So I'm gonna close this up.
I gotta say, man, this guy over here, the table hides him good. You know what I'm saying? Not this guy, but I mean, like, God damn it. Next time we do this, I'm sitting over there. This is just so, oh my God. I just keep looking at me like, dude, I look like a fucking redneck. What the fuck?
They see the whole tire. Is this better? Is that better? Because at least I only got your top half there. You better there?
Yeah, no,
You like
this
that?
is great.
Well, that's only when you're talking. That's only when you're talking. So you better start talking a lot, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what else to tell you.
I don't need to see the damn parrots come up and tell me to shut the fuck up.
Well, thank you so much, guys. We're going to take a little break and come back for another one. All right.